You need
Yeah.
hustle. Like at this point, like the NBA wants to be like the NFL, where it's unpredictable. I think that's the thing that the NBA identity kind of disappeared over the years. It's like, me and you were NBA fans, but if you ask someone who's like a avid NFL fan, right? But he'll casually watch basketball. You go up to him and it's like, "Hey, bro, are you watching the NBA?" He's like, "No, why would I watch it? The Warriors are gonna win it all anyways." So the NBA kind of wants to move away from that and kind of introduce unpredictability.
Yeah, but it's funny they're gonna introduce that, right? Which is a good idea, especially in the age of
It's a
streaming.
great idea.
But another
Yeah.
thing that's kind of creating a little confusion with them doing that is the influx of international players. And I don't think the league knows quite yet how to market them. Like a star as big as Luca, they don't market him the same way like a lesser star like SGA. They know how to
The
market
middle ball.
SGA. They don't know how to market Luca. They don't know how to really market Wemby yet. They don't know how to market these international guys. They like the quote unquote, I always say they like the American swag. They know how to
Yeah.
market that shit. It's an interesting conundrum for the league. Cause we ever seen the league really have an international face?
No. Hakeem Olajuwon, like for 2 years.
Yeah, but he wasn't really the face. He was like
No,
the
because
best player.
no, he wasn't very marketable. Um, Ewi- I wouldn't. Patrick Ewing was marketable, but I also think he was Jamaican, so I don't think that counts.
Nah, I think they utilized Shaq. They were marketing him. Shaq.
Yeah,
Shaq was in movies. Um, they've always had
Shazam.
they've always had
Yeah,
an American guy like with Magic
Penny
Johnson
Hardaway was
charisma.
marketed heavy too. Penny Hardaway as a new Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Remember his shoes, the foam posits?
Yeah, the phone posits, the penny doll, the Chris Rock thing. They've
Yeah, the
always
Chris Rock
had.
commercial.
I'm telling you, there's a little like nuanced dance that the league is doing where they're trying to figure out how do we market the international
But dude, I don't
star.
think I think like the American consumer, they care more about this American superstardom. To be honest with you.
Yeah, they do. They do, but
Yeah.
I think the league is gonna land on an American star. Like look at the guy out of Houston that just got drafted.
Shepard?
Yeah,
You think?
yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched his interviews. Is he charismatic?
No, I don't know about that, but his game speaks, it speaks volume. He could just,
Yeah.
he get a good stylist, just start walking around like Tyler Hero. Hey, there's the guy you could market.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're gonna market him as the face of the league, but I'm saying like they know how to market those type of guys, the Lucas, the Wembys. They don't know how to market these players, and at the same time, they're trying to achieve parity throughout the whole league.
Let me ask you this: what about Giannis? Because I feel like Giannis is marketed pretty well.
He can't. I've even heard him say he's like he doesn't have the American swag. He knows it.
But he's charismatic.
He is, but they have to. That's the thing, though. I feel like they stopped using their imagination. Like remember, guys who weren't charismatic, like Penny Hardaway, they would get Chris Rock and invent the
Yeah.
doll, the alter
They
ego.
hide. They hit his lack of charisma.
Yeah, they don't know how to. Sometimes some of these entities they lose their imagination a little bit.
Yeah, dude. I think, bro. I also think the internet has something to do with it, bro. Because I feel like basketball now, you can market yourself.
You can, but then you could end up like Jason Tatum. What is Tatum really? He's sort of like he's sort of like a blah. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows he's good, but there's no personality.
There's no like charisma. There's no aura to him. Like even Jalen Brown, I don't see any aura to him, dog. The only thing I've heard, like, usually like the Finals MVP, the guy who wins Finals MVP, everyone is like, what is he doing? You remember like Giannis going to Chick-fil-A and buying out Chick-fil-A, and like everyone's like, whoa, dude, Giannis, what a badass, what a winner. Or like Jokic going back to Serbia doing horse racing, or Kawhi and like Serge Ibaka going to baseball games and having that what it do baby and all those memes, right? You
Yeah,
don't see that with Jason Tatum. All people cared about was like Kim hanging out with that WNBA player.
yeah. It's just what it is. These guys, that's not who they are. They're the modern corporatized athletes, man. They just know how to play it safe. I think
Yeah,
social media scared a few guys out of just saying the wrong thing. You know what I mean? They're just like, hey,
yeah.
if I just don't say nothing, then they can't cancel me. I can still cash these checks.
I mean, bro, I think with the NFL market's a lot better in that regard because like who has been like a marketing mess up like beside like Deshaun Watson in recent memory?
Um, the NFL is different. 'Cause I feel like those guys, they like attention, man. They got their helmets on Sundays. Nobody really sees their face, and as soon as the
Yeah,
game is done, these guys can't wait to let you know who they are.
yeah, 100%. Is a mystique around them, I guess.
Yeah,
But like a guy like I don't know Lamelo Ball, right? He does a lot of stupid things, but he's a guy who likes attention. I also feel like Tyrese Halliburton likes attention
but what is
because
his
you see
personality?
Halliburton's.
No, I'm talking about Lamelo.
Bro, he tracks kids like with the loud jewelry, the clothes,
Yeah, but have
kind
we
of like.
ever seen him talk and say something smooth or something funny or charismatic?
Nah, he's pretty funny. I gotta give him credit. He's funny.
So he talks. He has a saying. Like I've never really heard him talk like that.
Bro, I've heard him talk in a couple press conferences. Like I'll listen to his podcast. I find him charming.
Yeah, he's gotta. I mean, he's gotta say more, man. I'm surprised he doesn't have a like Ja Morant. You hear him
Like
say,
he
"What?
had, you remember he had
It's
the
a
Puma
parade inside
commercial?
my city." Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. Like someone that says and like every time you turn the
Yeah.
camera on them, it's like, wow, what is he gonna say? Oh, it's gonna go viral. Like Ja Morant is the only guy that seems
Yeah.
like him and Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is just a funny dude.
Yeah, but I think with Lamelo Ball, I think it's more to do with like lack of availability.
Mm.
Because like nobody talks about him because he's not playing, right? So I think that also plays a factor. I think his shenanigans also plays a factor. The Hornets being kind of irrelevant plays a factor. But he's a guy. I remember like when he first did the whole Puma commercial. You remember that one?
Not really. I forgot that.
Yep. He had the Puma commercial. Like that was like the most notable thing. I remember it was blasting everywhere. When Puma introduced their basketball, like they were introducing like yo, we were back in the basketball business. He was kind of the face of that, and they made a commercial.
I figure his pops was more like the
His pops was the
braggadocious guy.
mouthpiece for Lamelo. I think his pops made Lamar, what's his name? Lonzo. He made Lonzo more relevant.
Really?
100%. Bro, I remember Lonzo got like appearances in WWE, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. He made appearances in like Full House, the reboot. The guy was everywhere just because of his dad.
Yeah, his dad is like the
Yeah.
Don King for basketball players.
Yeah.
Yeah, his pops
Like
was
he made
working his magic.
Yeah. I mean Joel Embiid, he had some commercials. People like Embiid. Remember when he was doing like the whole dance and the whole DX, like the whole like DX thing? People find him a lot funny.
See, but that's the thing. Embiid is willing to take risk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Him doing the DX thing, the league could have fined him for that. Like
They did.
inappropriate gesture. But at least Embiid has personality enough where he's like, I'm a star. What are they gonna do? Fire me? You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna show
Yeah.
a little flair. But I feel like Jason Tatum, he's so scared to move an inch. Like, oh,
Yeah.
like they're gonna cancel me. Like, you know what I mean? Like show some sort of personality. Even when he talks, it's like the same
There's no personality.
monotone.
There's no personality. I think him and even Jalen Brown. I think with Jalen, you were talking about like worrying about saying the wrong things. I think that's why the NBA doesn't really market Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
Because you remember the whole thing about him is he's like too smart. So I think their worry is like if he goes off and like makes a political statement, like it puts us in jeopardy. Because you remember the LeBron James statements, it wasn't a big deal with the China thing, but people made it into such a big thing, especially like the whole political spectrum. So it's like the NBA does not want to put that again with Jalen Brown.
Yeah, but again, it's a tricky dance that's going on right now. We're watching the league transition into parity. Meanwhile, international stars are coming in by the boatloads. Look at the draft, and now they have
Yeah,
stars who are scared to not really show any personality, which leads into them being marketable. This is a very nuanced dance is going on right now. It's like the league doesn't really know how to navigate past the American star. They really don't know how to market past that.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I mean, dude, look at the past NBA draft. Alexander Sarr and the first overall pick for the Atlanta Hawks. They're French.
Mm-hmm.
I think the NBA, it's like, I think, I want to talk about this later about the talent pool, but I'm saying, like, the NBA is with the talent pool, they haven't been able to they haven't been able to match marketability, which is ridiculous to me because, like, you look at soccer. Soccer has that marketability, bro. You look at Neymar from Brazil, Ronaldo from Portugal.
Okay, perfect. You said this. The reason why, because that sport overall has always been international.
Yeah,
A person in England watching English Premiership has always been used to watching Pele, cheering on for a Brazilian, cheering on for Argentinian. They're
yeah.
used to that. The
Mo
American
Salah from
audience,
Egypt.
yeah,
Yeah,
the American audience is not used to cheering on the international star in an American sport.
yeah,
They're not accustomed to that. I think what it is Adam Silver is being patient. I think they're training the younger generations to be used to and liking the Lucas, liking the Alex Stars. But Alex Star is my favorite star, even though I'm born in Memphis. They're
yeah,
they're they're they're, they're kind of getting the younger generation accustomed to that. Because I'm telling you,
yeah.
the older generations, they're stuck. Because in the NBA, it used to be a stigma to be international. It's the only sport.
Well, you're viewed soft. Like Vlade Divac was
Yeah.
viewed soft, despite being from a war-torn country, was viewed soft. But I'll say this: when in regards to Jokic, I think Jokic they did make a little bit of a gamble to make him marketability because they did put his face next to the biggest movie that's coming out or already came out, Despicable Me.
Yeah, because he looks just like Jokic. They could make so many commercials with him
He's
with them damn
charismatic.
horses.
He's charismatic.
Yeah.
Like Jokic acts like he doesn't like media, but the dude likes media.
Yo, he's funny, man. Like that thing with them damn horses, man. They need to milk that.
Yeah. Like,
But you
dude,
know
I
what
found
it
the
is?
commercial funny.
But
Like
again,
the yeah,
they're used to the cool American Michael Jordan with the hoop earring and the suits and the
yeah,
Jordans. They're used to that type of thing.
yeah,
They don't know
bro.
how to really market outside of that like image.
What's it called again? Even that commercial with the hotels, they took advantage of it by having Peyton Watson and Jokic and that little pony, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Don't touch my horse." It was a funny commercial.
Yeah, it was a really good
Yeah,
commercial, and they gotta lean more into that. Like Jimmy Butler is
yeah.
a perfect example. They gotta lean more into the trolling. Jimmy wearing the cowboy hat. Jimmy singing pop
Him
songs.
having the emo haircut.
Yeah, they gotta lean
Yeah,
into that and run those commercials. And
make them more human. Make the
yeah,
players more human. Like, dude, like let me give you a perfect example. Who's like one of the most charismatic basketball players of all time? Like,
Magic
you know
Johnson.
him? Huh?
Magic Johnson.
No, no. Let me further improve it. Like, you know him. At this point, people know him more for TV than actually like his playing career.
Oh, Charles Barkley.
Yeah, that guy, Charles Barkley, at this point is more famous than players who have like achieved more than him.
That's true.
I think Barkley might be like top 5 most recognizable player of all time. Not because of his playing career, just because someone has watched a clip on Twitter where he's making fun of San Antonio women, where he's making like the how cold the Phoenix Suns nostrils
Big
are,
old San
or he's
Antonio women.
yeah, yeah, the churros, where he's kissing the donkey after Yao
Oh
Ming's
yeah.
performance. Like, bro, people know Charles Barkley for that. Like, the guy is still marketable in the NBA. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people just gravitate towards him. And guys like Dirk Nowitzki has won championships. Guys like, I don't know who else, what other forward you could think of, but throughout history.
Like Tim
He's more,
Duncan.
yeah, dude. I think more people know Charles Barkley than Tim Duncan.
Oh
Like,
yeah, for
it's just
sure.
like, and dude, I needed to post this clip. Let me find it for you and post it.
But you know what? At least Charles
Yeah.
Barkley took the chances of authentically being himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wonder if social media was around back in the day, had Charles Barkley would have probably withdrew from saying certain comments. Like, oh, I'm not
Probably,
a
I
role
think
model.
in his playing career, 100%. Because I think the Barkley now, obviously, like he's a lot older. He's a lot different than how he was like back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me find this one clip. I was watching this podcast because like it was with the comedian and Blake was talking with the comedian. So like, what's it called again? Oh man, let me lower my volume. But it was interesting where he talks about how like some players are more marketable despite not winning a ring because like people just like look beyond basketball sometimes, you know? Like
Yeah.
basketball isn't the end all be all. And I found that an interesting conversation because like I think Blake is also one of those guys, like the most like marketable just off his charisma kind of guy.
Some guys have it. Some guys have it.
Yeah.
But you
And
know
he
what?
had it. He still has it.
Yeah, the league gotta lean more into the quirkiness, like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
The quirkiness of
Yeah.
Jimmy. They gotta lean into that.
But I feel like he was the first guy that they leaned into, if that makes sense.
Yeah, with that type of marketing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like even Will Smith grabbed it for the Bad Boys movie. He had Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler doing the whole like skits. That was perfect, man. That was perfect.
Yeah.
The NBA needs to take notes on that.
100%, bro. You gotta make it fun. Like I think that's the thing people like about like basketball. Like that's what I think a lot of kids now gravitate towards is fun. Like why are artists so big? It's not because of like the music. Like the music plays a role, but
Mm-hmm.
why artists are popping off nowadays? It's because like people find them cool on social media. But let me ask you this, you know, has the media done like when I watched Gilbert Arenas recently, right? And he's talking about like, oh, like all the stereotypical African insults and this famous European,
It's
what he
hard to
said
tell
about
with him
European
because
players.
it's almost like with Gilbert, he's trying to go viral all the time.
Yeah,
That's
but
just
I'm saying like
annoying.
he's a guy, who has a lot of influence in basketball discussions because of like he's on a new platform and he's a legend or not a legend, but he's someone who played in the NBA. So a lot
Yeah,
of people will take what he says seriously. So when you're saying this, it hurts the league big time because now, like,
yeah, it does. He need to take a
yeah,
little bit more responsibility for that. But he's trying to go viral every week.
oh, 100 for
Sometimes
him and Rashad
he
McCants,
yeah,
all those guys.
yeah, he just says shit just to go viral, and it's so obvious, man. But some people, like you said, they're not gonna be able to tell, and they're just gonna associate it with the NBA.
Yeah, because like now, like if I say that right, and someone who doesn't pay attention to NBA, it's gonna be like, yeah, Europeans are pussies. Why would I watch this game? You know?
Exactly. Yeah, but that's a good point you brought up. Some people see Gilbert speaking on it and they think it's official, like, but not realizing that he's
Like
just trolling.
him,
He's just
Nick
saying shit that
Young,
he doesn't believe.
100%, because he's played against like he's being dishonest. He's played with and against European players.
Yeah, he knows. He knows for the most part that Sudan team that the NBA has been they've been investing money down there to develop players. Gilbert knows that. The NBA around the world, they're investing money. That's why you see these guys in these coming out of these countries like Pascal Siakam and they're ready to play. You know what's her name? Doris Burke was the one
Yeah,
that recruited Pascal.
yeah,
You
dude.
know
The thing is, like,
the NBA sent her to go
yeah,
recruit Pascal.
dude, he was some pastor kid. Like Pascal Siakam was going to be like a pastor
Yeah.
growing up. Yeah, but the thing is, with in regards to, like, for example, South Sudan, bro, South Sudan's economy kind of needs the NBA because it's a new country. You know, the country's only 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So like they gave a lot of these monies and they sent a lot of these former basketball players who are a lot like everyone in Sudan, South Sudan's team is a lot older than the country. There's the new country, obviously credit to them. They kind of need someone to get economy running and try to get basketball popping over there, right? And it's good, man. I think it's good for the NBA. They benefit from it because what JC Thor is from there, Manute Bol is from there, Luol Deng. So they're engineering a lot of basketball players that are coming in and playing at a high level. So I think it just benefits everyone at the end of the day when you're seeing African players kind of coming in and kind of what I hope to see like in the future is like these guys get trained to be like personalities too, as they develop like
Yeah,
their
correct.
basketball skills.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's gonna be the next phase.
because like people don't know JT Thor, and he plays in the NBA. Um,
But again,
and a lot of
everything.
these,
But again, everything you're saying, Gilbert Arenas already knows that. He's just trolling. He's
yeah,
trying to go viral.
yeah, that's what it is, bro. It's like and NBA has historically done that. Like soccer does that all the time with these underdeveloped countries or newer countries. They've sent talent pools in to like look at it and kind of throw in money to give them proper
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 training.
infrastructure. Yeah,
Yeah, and at
proper
the same
infrastructure
time,
and
they're
everything.
trying. They've always been trying to globalize their talent pool. They've always
Yeah,
been trying to do that because they understand if they get a huge figure that's at least winning championships in the league, they automatically got that whole country paying attention to the
yeah,
league. Same thing like China. It's the Yao Ming effect. They're looking
yeah,
for the Yao Ming effect.
yeah. And dude, one thing that's like interesting, right? It's the average age in South Sudan is like 6 foot plus. So the NBA would be stupid to not look at South Sudan and be like, "Yo, we're not going to develop any talent here." Like the average, I think the Dinka tribe or whatever, that's the most common tribe. They're like 6 foot five, 6 foot five plus.
Wow.
That's why all the NBA players that come from South Sudan are tall. Manute Bol, Thonmaker, JT Thor, they're very tall human beings. Bol, it's no surprise that the NBA is kind of like attaching themselves to those kind of players.
Yeah, I think Mike Brown, the coach of the Kings, he was the coach down there. Maybe not in Sudan, in some part of Africa. He was the coach for
Yeah,
like I think like 2 years in the I think the mid 2010s.
yeah. And they brought
So
in Masai Ujiri's also done work over there. I think he
yeah,
still does.
yeah. Again, like I said, the league they have a plan. This is not like a coincidence. This
Yeah,
is sort of like a policy thing. The league is taking some of their revenue that they're making, not a large
yeah,
part, like a little portion, and they're planting it maybe in China, in certain parts of Africa, in certain parts of South America, and they're
yeah,
cultivating talent. They've been doing this,
yeah,
I think, ever since the David Stern era is when they started it, and
yeah.
now
Because
we're
like
seeing it come into intuition right now.
100%, dude. It's like the NBA with them. It's like they know, like right now, like I think every league, every international league, soccer and football, they're investing a lot in Africa. Because like you look at the French team, it's Africans. Like you can't say any of them are ethnically French. Um,
True, and also I
yeah,
believe that continent has like a lot of countries in that continent have like the youngest age, like
yeah,
their population overall is a lot younger.
100%. And they got height and they got good build. Like I
Yeah.
said, like South Sudan, the average height is 6 foot plus. So it's like it makes sense why the NBA would gravitate towards that. You look at soccer with Mbappe and those kind of guys are African descent. So it's kind of like a lot of these teams. I mean, even the Euro League, they took an interest in getting like a lot of African like hoopers and kind of integrating them into their own, like the Greek freak. Obviously, Giannis isn't ethnically Greek; he's Nigerian, but he's kind of built his career up on Greek, adopted the culture and the name, so that's why he's such a big star.
Hmm. What are your
Like,
feelings on this whole Team USA? There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of a
you
lot
talking
of
about the Jalen Brown
sponsors. Kind of
statements?
got to be pleased. This is an interesting Olympics Team USA is entering in.
You talking about the Jalen Brown statements?
I'm just talking about the overall Team USA, where like LeBron being age 39, he's making the team come back against Germany, against
Yeah,
Sudan. There's Kevin Durant kind of injured. Why is Joel Embiid over there? He's allegedly on one leg. This is a very interesting Team USA we're seeing here.
yeah. I think the NBA kind of realizes. I think like American basketball kind of realizes that the era is kind of winding down. Like I also believe in that. By the way, I think like the era of like basketball dominance in the America it's dying down. Like you don't see like even this draft, bro. The first thing like teams did was invested in like project European players, the Atlanta Hawks and the Washington Wizards. You're seeing kind of a shift in the NBA where they're like going towards out of their own. And you're seeing that also in Team USA. It's no more the days of the dream team walking in and you're just dominating in every position. No, I think a lot of these guys the American sports and basketball NBA, they've invested a lot of money in their infrastructure, and it's showing out
Yeah, it
because now
is.
you're seeing these teams compete at a high level.
It is, but at the same time, it's hard to tell what exactly is the status of USA basketball because the players that get assembled on this team, there's a lot of politics. There's a
One
lot
hundred
of,
percent.
hey, you're a Nike player, you're an Adidas player.
They're Under Armour.
Nike sponsors the whole event. If you watch it on
Yeah,
television, Nike logo every 5 seconds. Like, you know what
the
I mean? There's a
uniform.
lot of politics. These other teams, like the Australian team or the German team, they're playing with chemistry. They don't care about the best players showing up last minute. You can't be on the team then. But
It's
the team USA,
capitalism.
there's too much outside influence. As
Yeah,
the world
it's
as the world
capitalism,
gets
bro.
better, there's too much outside influence on this team.
Bro, it's capitalism. Like that's what it is. They're not viewing it as winning or losing right now. Like the players are sure, but what I mean is like they're not viewing us winning or losing. They're viewing us like how can we get our brand out there? If you're Nike, how do we sell like Team USA shirts? Oh, LeBron is wearing it. You know someone's gonna buy it at Dick's Sporting Goods or Academy or any of these kind of shops.
Kevin Durant right now is still hurt. Have yet to play any of the exhibition games, but that's a Nike.
Kawhi doesn't play
That's a
either,
Nike
right?
guy. That's a Nike guy. They got one Nike guy starting ahead of him, Devin Booker. As soon as he comes in the lineup, they're gonna substitute their Nike guy for Kevin Durant. So this is very
Yeah,
interesting. And then Joel Embiid, what is he? Skechers?
yeah. Skechers, like you're seeing a lot of brands playing their politics. So Under Armour wants their guy out. Obviously Skechers, they're the most popular shoe brand, but they're not viewed as hip. They're gonna try to view it as hip as possible, having him beat out. So a lot of these guys are trying to like dominate the shoe world, and that's the whole goal of it.
Yeah.
Is how do we dominate the shoe world and how do we dominate the market? It's no more, bro. Like team like Dream Team, for example, it was just like American nationalism on steroids, American exceptionalism. It's no more like that. I don't think these guys care all that much about it.
Yeah, it could never be like that because that 90 was it 92 Barcelona Olympics, that was the, I guess, signal fire. That was like
Yeah,
basically everyone around the world, they got to see Michael Jordan live maybe for the first time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that kind of showed the Pau Gasols or any future the Ginobili's, they all watched
Dirk
him.
Nowitzki.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then they were all influenced, and now you're seeing those guys, the other children that they influenced, and every generation that keeps getting influenced, it's a bigger and bigger pool. So that gap has been, and plus the NBA is spending money overseas in different countries, cultivating the talent. So you add all those
yeah,
things together, this is what you get. You get a bunch of French kids coming into the draft, and you get Team USA with that looks like a dream team, but this team is a little bit older and doesn't have as much shooting. Now the gap begins to narrow down, and a lot of the US players, I know they're feeling the heat. They're like, oh, these motherfuckers are
yeah.
actually, you know, they're balling. Like, oh, okay, I gotta I
Because,
gotta
dude,
come out here.
I'll say this: like for a guy in South Sudan, right? For him, this game means everything. But how much do you think it means to like a Team USA player? Like, forget like Anthony Edwards or Tyrese Halliburton. How much does it mean for them?
Ooh, this team USA, most of these guys are getting like 70 mil from Nike.
They don't care.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. I
But if
don't
you're
know.
like, I don't know, if you're a South Sudan player, right? You're like, oh, hell yeah, dude, I'm getting the chance.
Yeah, you're getting a chance to play against LeBron, and you'll make a
Yeah,
name for yourself. And maybe, they're gonna get a look from like a Euro League or even the NBA.
100%, bro. That's what it is, man. You see, like, Dubai has really put themselves out there as to be like the next basketball or sports market.
Oh,
And
a
I think
sports
like
market in
that,
general. Sports
yeah,
market in
like
general.
UFC basketball. So I was able to post that where I'm like, you're seeing like basketball grow within that area, and like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, like you're seeing basketball just grow in general, right? And I don't know why our basketball players today are not ready for it.
I wouldn't really say they're not ready for it. They're just not. It's not. this Team USA is a really bad measuring stick.
Yeah.
It's too much politics. You got 39-year-old LeBron starting. You got Kevin Durant. He shouldn't really be out there, but he's trying to make his way back. Joel Embiid on one leg, but all these guys have at least 70 to 80 million dollar deals with Nike. Shit, Kevin
Yeah.
Durant got $300 million deal with Nike. Like, these guys have to be out there because they're not the sponsors. The sponsors are not saying it out loud, but this is the reason why they're giving these guys 80, 300
100%. Because
million.
they want to
Is
see.
it's because no, the Olympics is
Yeah.
almost like the Super Bowl of athletic wear, of like marketing
Yeah.
their products. They're gonna come out
Yeah.
with Olympic version of their shoes. People are gonna see the Nike logo from around the world. This is the Super Bowl of
Yeah.
just the reason why they gave you that endorsement. For
100%.
LeBron, the reason why he got that lifetime deal, you better make sure that your ass is at the Olympics. Same thing for Joel Embiid with Skechers, and same thing
Yeah.
with Kevin Durant with Nike. They gotta be out
Steph Curry
there.
with Under Armour.
Yeah, they gotta be out there.
Yeah.
And it might be one of the reasons why we don't see Jaylen Brown out there, because the Olympics is really tied to, the NBA and the athletic companies, the athletic wear companies marketing themselves. That's what it's all about.
So what you're saying is like the NBA or these companies are more looking at them. They're looking at their bottom line
Now,
instead of.
it's not necessarily their bottom line. This is
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. This is the done data for Nike, Adidas,
I
Skechers.
think this is more of a FIFA World Cup for these companies, and not just the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect example. It's the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's the World Cup.
It's a
But
World
imagine it's the Super Bowl for a whole, I guess, what, month and a half or 2 months. Like, when I
Yeah.
say Super Bowl, I mean I'm talking about the advertisements, the commercials during the Super Bowl. How it costs $4 million to get
Yeah.
a 30-second space. That imagine that 30-second space on the starting five. To have Stephen
Yeah.
Curry there, it's worth that.
LeBron James.
there.
The fact
Yeah.
is, these guys are at the end of their careers, right? So you would think they'd market off of that too.
Yeah, but I bet you LeBron probably got like 3 or 4 sneakers dropping. That's all Olympic colorways this whole month of
Red,
August.
white, and blue. Same with Steph Curry, Under Armour. Same with Joel Embiid, Skechers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. The NBA basketball, bro, is becoming too brand centric in my opinion.
Yeah,
Sometimes, bro.
it-
Like
it's-
I feel
it's a
like they're trying to
business.
sell me something instead of like me enjoying it. You know?
Yeah, it's that's the thing with Team USA. You see that it's a business, but
Yeah.
with Team France or with Team with the German team, the Australian
Yeah.
team, you see it's actually about winning. But with us, there's because we are the marketing. America's biggest thing is marketing.
We're the house of capitalism.
Yeah, but
Like,
our biggest thing that we're really good at is marketing. It could be anything.
100%.
Marketing war, marketing products, whatever it is, that's America's thing. And Team USA is a marketing prime real estate for USA basketball. It's prime real estate. That's why Joel Embiid is out there talking about, it's 2 months later, I lost to the Knicks, but I'm still on fucking one leg. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, saving their own ass, bro.
Yeah, it's like, why is Kevin Durant, the season ended like 2 months ago? Why does he seem like, he's not good? It's pretty obvious that he's not good. They already played like 5, 6, 7 games, but they're still willing to start Kevin Durant. They're willing to start him. They're willing to start him at this point. He already missed like 5, 6 games.
Nike made the call. Nike made the call, and dude, these players themselves want to put themselves out there, man. For them, it's everything.
No, I don't think it's up to them. I think it's in their, it's in their when Kevin Durant, LeBron, all of them signed with Nike, it's in the contract. The Olympic shit is important. It's part of the payment. You gotta be there. Unless like a Paul George type of event happens to you, you gotta be there.
Yeah,
it's mandatory.
Look, as a business, it makes sense. Like when I'm not against it, because it is a job, and you're getting paid to wear shoes and play basketball. I understand, but dude, at some point, I don't know. As a fan, it's kind of frustrating, bro, when these players also make half-ass statements like, "I'm not 100%, this, that, and the third." It does get frustrating.
It gets frustrating, but I'm telling you, it's about to be revealed with this Kevin Durant situation. Watch them start him. Even though he missed
Yeah.
all the exhibition games, all the Vegas games, they're gonna still end up starting him. And you ask yourself, like, why? Like, the chemistry obviously is not gonna be right. Why the fuck are they
No,
starting him? Like, Team
I don't
USA,
expect chemistry.
but
I don't think this team will have chemistry though.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Kevin Durant is gonna open up the shooting for them. That's if he's making his shots. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, these other teams, they've been playing with each other for years.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's
These other
stuff.
teams, they have chemistry, bro. The thing is, team basketball, it's these guys. You see, it feels like more of a meetup. It's not like something they're training. And obviously, saying Kevin Durant hasn't been healthy, and he's on Team USA. I think Kawhi still on Team USA,
No, he left. He left early.
and they replaced him with Derek White. Is Derek White a New Balance guy?
Nah, Derek White is just a filler, so it doesn't look. And here's another thing. Good thing you mentioned Derek White. Basically, from what I'm understanding right now, Derek White is basically a filler who could come in. Maybe he doesn't get any shots, or maybe some games he doesn't get subbed in, but at least he doesn't have a brand that's gonna take a hit. They're afraid that if they get Jaylen Brown and he doesn't get subbed in and he sits on the end of the bench, they're gonna say, "Look, it's the Finals MVP sitting on the bench and not getting no burn."
Well, let me ask you this.
This is too
obviously
much
got it.
marketing politics going on, man. Way too
Let,
much.
let, let me ask you this. Kawhi Leonard obviously is not playing his Team New Balance, right? So for me, it's like, okay, he's Team New Balance. Why couldn't they just replace him with Darius Garland or someone that maybe or Zach Levine, someone that maybe New Balance could market?
Hmm. I don't think New Balance has enough real estate to dictate what goes on the team. I just don't think they have enough real estate. I think Skechers barely got in there.
The
I think
Skechers got bread.
yeah, they got money, but they don't have the real estate. They got Joel Embiid, and then it comes to like Julius Randle.
Yeah,
But
Julius Randle and I think Maxi too.
yeah, but that's not enough real estate. Nike's real
Yeah,
estate in that dream team is crazy. Stephen Curry gave them that real estate.
Under Armour.
Yeah, which is Under Armour. But without
Yeah,
Stephen Curry, Under Armour wouldn't have real estate.
because like the only New Balance athlete that's playing in the Olympics as of right now is Jamal Murray, and it's like Team Canada.
Yeah. But let me say this, it wouldn't shock me if these companies sometimes when they bid on these players, when they come straight into the league, it wouldn't shock me if they're like judging if the person will be talented enough to make the Olympic team based off of how much money they would give them. But I bet you they're calculating if they could be on that Olympic team.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I think that's why like Zach Levine gets a shoe deal. Is because like he's a good enough player to make the Olympics team. So I was like, why not just like try to gamble and see if he can actually make it for us?
Yeah, but Zach Levine is like a different level. I'm talking about like Adidas running to Anthony Edwards. They're like, oh shit,
Okay, okay, okay. I got
he's
you
up
now.
next. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about the real
Yeah,
world
yeah.
guys.
Like a new superstar, like
Yeah,
an upcoming superstar,
like
like
LeBron,
Puma
like
with
Nike.
Lamelo Ball.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
LeBron came into the league, Nike ran at him. Like
yeah,
we think they ran at him to advertise like in America. Like that's what most fans think. But Nike really ran at him because they understood like he's gonna go to like 5-6 Olympics, and they're like that's our
yeah,
Super Bowl.
yeah. He's gonna be a lifetime. Their goal was to make him a lifetime athlete.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be shocked if Nike made all the money that they're gonna pay LeBron for that whole contract in just that one Olympics. If they made all that money back
Oh, one
and
hundred
some.
percent, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Team USA, they don't care about what goes on in the Olympics. Like for them, it's like how they're just trying to sell.
Yeah, they're just
It's
trying to
unfortunate,
sell.
man. As a fan, it's unfortunate, bro. But it's like, I guess that's just where basketball's headed towards. I think that's just where the sports world is headed towards.
Now, you know
Because
what
I
it
think,
is? It's just business. It's just there's too much business in Team USA. If South
yeah,
Sudan or any other country had the same type of availability to make that type of money, have players have those type of sponsorships, and then companies make millions and billions off of them for just that Olympics, they'll be doing the same thing. They would be doing the same
let me
thing.
let me ask you this: why can't we make it like the FIFA World Cup?
What do you mean?
Like FIFA World Cup is selling us, right? They obviously they're selling this shit. All kind of brands. Why can't we do that with like Team USA?
Uh, I don't. That's tough because the FIFA World Cup is only for one sport. That
Yeah.
the Team USA, the Olympic stuff is it's like it's so many different sports. There's
Well,
so
let me
many
ask you this:
fractured
what
audiences.
what about like the FIBA World? What about the FIBA like the FIBA tournaments?
Yo, those are not respected that much. Not
Because
yet.
it's new.
Yeah, they're new, but they're not respected as much. But I think I would say if the NBA continues the way it is now, I would say like 20 years from now, like that shit is gonna be like a real tournament. Or you never know. It might take an incident in these Olympics where Team USA gets embarrassed or something
Yeah.
crazy or viral happens that everyone's pissed. Everyone,
Yeah.
You know how Gilbert Arenas was pissed. Everyone gets mad on that type of level, and now we're taking the FIBA serious. We're taking
But did that
everything
happen
serious
before?
afterwards.
That has happened. I mean, dude, we lost to Canada, no?
Yeah, but everyone knows it was different. You know what I'm
Or
saying?
Germany, my bad. Yeah.
No, like I think a while ago, didn't with like Melo and LeBron and Allen Iverson, didn't they lose to like Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
You see
And you
back
remember they
then,
lost to Argentina and the redemption team and all that marketing stuff that happened?
yeah, but it wasn't as bad because the league wasn't filled with internationals winning Finals
Yeah.
MVP, winning the MVP season award every season, and then the draft wasn't, half the draft wasn't French. But now when
Yeah.
you fast forward and you got all these things, everyone's like Gilbert Arenas. They're kind of sweating. They're like, yo, like I thought this was our game. Like, who are all these motherfuckers?
Yeah. Who is this new guy? Like, he
Yeah.
didn't learn the traditional way of basketball
I'm
because he
telling you,
started in the league early. Yeah.
USA getting smacked in these Olympics wouldn't be a bad thing because now you're gonna see how serious they take that shit going
Yeah,
forward.
it's ego. Like, at the end of the day, these guys have egos.
Yeah, but America has an ego. America is an ego.
Yeah,
Like,
we as a country have an ego, but I'm talking like as an athlete, they have egos. Like every athlete has an ego.
yeah, but it's
Everybody
different.
in yeah.
Nah, I feel like when it comes to the basketball, Americans think of basketball as our sport. That's us. We're the dream team.
Yeah.
That dream team, that shit has lasting effects. Most people see the way that they beat every team. That's how they think of
Yeah.
like America in basketball. Like that's how we think of ourselves. So that's why
Hmm.
Gilbert Arenas feels, a type of way that the South Sudan game was even close. Think about it. We won, and everyone's kind of like, "What the fuck was that?" You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like well, how? Like why was this close?
Yeah,
Like people wanted a 50-game blowout.
yeah. Those are the dream team after effects. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's the after effect of the dream team. You still got that sweet taste in your mouth. You're just like, oh man, we just beat everyone up, and then, yeah, we got the gold medal, light work.
We're
But
the
now it's
bullies.
not like that. Just looking at this overall game, because the game is different over there. It's a
Yeah.
40-minute game. The inside the arc is smaller. The basketball court is slightly smaller, not by
Yeah.
much, but there's less possessions in these games, and we all know the superstars. Sometimes they like to James Harden shit. You know what I mean? They don't value the
Embiid.
possessions as much. And then we
Yeah.
don't have as much shooting. So, and then the referees, they don't do that bullshit where they're reffing the player.
Let me ask you this.
Wait, hold
This is a
on.
good point you're making. Okay.
Hold on, my bad. I just want to say, like, the ref is not reffing the superstar. They're not saying, oh, that's SGA. He's going into the lane. That's a foul. You know what I mean? They're not doing that. They're actually reffing the play over there in FIBA or in the Olympics. They're saying, oh, Anthony Davis, that's a foul. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to give Anthony Davis that call he's used to getting. Like, these are the differences in the game right now. And I'm wondering if the players have enough chemistry to kind of, run the ship a little bit tighter.
Okay, let's say a humiliation happens, right? Let's say Team USA loses and they're out of the Olympics. Do you think the NBA would pivot to make basketball or the NBA to be much more Olympic, like to make it much more closer to the Olympics? Because now at that point, right, America is humiliated. You have to make it somewhat competitive, and you have to kind of like condition these guys to be used to like the Olympic whistle.
No, they don't need to change it because the NBA is a complete different product. The NBA, there's a reason why the NBA is the NBA. It doesn't look or feel like the European leagues. It's because they understand that just like the NFL, They gotta tweak the product and make it good for TV. You see how the NFL, you can't hit the quarterbacks. There's a bunch of touchdowns, throwing the ball a
The
long way.
quarterback's always protected.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
NFL understands that, hey, the audience likes red zone. They like touchdowns. So we're gonna tweak it for that to happen a lot more. The NBA does the same thing. Hey, the spacing. We're gonna move the 3-point line back. There's more spacing. We want more dunks. So we're gonna do 3 second in the key. Then you have to come out, which I don't think in the Olympics they have that. You know what I mean? So they change the defenses, what's allowed. They tailor the product to make sure you can see a LeBron dunk all the time, or whoever's the guy like Jean Morant. They give him more space to dance. They allow different type of screens. They don't call travel. They allow more movement. You see all these little things. They tweak it because the NBA it's not regular basketball. It's an actual product. There's basketball and then there's the NBA. It's like two different things. I mean, it's under the same tree, under the same umbrella, but they're two different products.
yeah,
Yeah, and when these guys, go play basketball on an international level with Team USA, they actually for the first time are put in the field of OG original basketball.
yeah.
Yeah, and the superstars, if they're really good, they're gonna make the adjustments. I know Michael Jordan, man, he's probably studying that shit, all the rules and everything over there. He probably how competitive he is. He's like, man, I'm the god. I'm gonna tweak my game just for these next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys,
I
they
mean,
probably
Kobe
think it's
did it.
light work, but it's really not.
No, it's hard, bro. Dude, anybody who can reach at that level is a competitor at one way or another.
True.
And basketball's a team sport, so if someone lacks what the opposing player has, they can draw up a play and get the buckets and get the stops.
But here's the thing, though, they're gonna
Yeah.
have to draw up a play, right? But they're
Yeah.
used to them. They're used, especially in today's NBA, the way that they made it today.
It's freestyle.
No, the spacing is crazy.
Yeah.
Now, this Team USA, they're going over there. The spacing is tight. The spacing is tighter. So
Well,
it's not the same thing. The spacing
I mean, I
is
think that
tighter.
also plays into like the freestyle. I think modern day NBA has much more of a freestyle when it comes to like the playmaking and kind of players can do whatever with the ball. The
True.
coaching won't be as tight with that. Like with European ball, it's more about sets.
Yeah. Well, inside the arc is gonna be smaller, and
Yeah.
these guys get 5 fouls. They're out the game. It's not even
Yeah.
6. So it's and it's less possessions, and it's a 40-minute game. So, but you know what? I'm gonna play this audio. Tim Legler actually spoke about this Team USA and what they should expect and what he thought about the team.
Yeah, I just want, people need to always get back to this point. Whenever you see an international team coming from the United States, an NBA caliber team, these are different roles for these guys.
Yes.
Basketball doesn't work that way, where you have a team full of alphas, team full of guys that are used to doing really whatever they want offensively on every given night for their NBA teams. Most basketball teams have a couple of guys at the top of the roster that fall into that category, and then everybody else sort of stays in a lane and they fill a specific role and they sacrifice parts of their game for the betterment of the team. That's a big time adjustment for all of these guys. You're talking about some guys that if their careers ended tomorrow, we know they're in the Hall of Fame. There's a bunch of other guys in this team that are probably going to end up there as well. And they're used to getting, on a bad night, 20 shots a game for the teams they play on. So I just think the way that we go about formulating these teams and just expect, because they've got more talent and these are household names, we can roll out a ball and they can just go. That's just not the case anymore. And I think basketball requires a rhythm and a sacrifice and a continuity that is very difficult to find in this amount of time. And that is why I think Team USA will be threatened on multiple nights in this tournament. It's not going to shock me to see them lose. We just mentioned some of the teams. Australia even could be a team because stylistically it's so different.
Yeah.
I like Shanae's point about Canada. There's no doubt that's the most talented team outside of Team USA. But the one thing that's interesting about that situation is they're going to play like it's an NBA game. And that also might make Team USA more comfortable.
True.
Because the style is going to be exactly what they see every night.
Right.
Some of these other international teams that have the top guys, right? The top of the food chain players, like a Victor Wembanyama, but then everybody else falling into a role. It looks more like what actual basketball looks like rather than a collection of all-stars. And that's why this is continuing to be a challenge for Team USA to just run through it.
I mean, Team USA is a bunch of chefs trying to cook a meal. With the NBA, it's like one guy. With the other teams, it's like, for example, Victor Wembanyama makes the ending dish. Someone makes the star,
The appetizer.
the appetizer. Someone makes dessert. That's just how it is. And I think this he's right.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Ledger, he's right, because like right now, like you're looking at it down the stretch, every guy on that team wants to hit the shot. Why? And companies want them to hit the shot. Steph Curry hits a legendary three. Oof. Make a man have him something say so charismatic. Under Armour can sell T-shirts and shoes off of it. Have Anthony Edwards say something funny. Adidas sell something off of it. LeBron or Kevin Durant does a big shot. Have them say the GOAT is here. Have them like both can say longevity, whatever, right? Team what 21 and team year 21 and Kevin Durant's what year 17, year 15.
Mm-hmm.
You can have those kind of marketability with them.
You can. And good point by Tim Legler. He said the only time Team USA is going to run into the type of basketball that they know is when they face Team Canada, because all the NBA players that they got. So they're going to play in a similar style. But other than that, he even brought up my point. They're going to continue to play against teams in a original basketball format, which they got to build up the chemistry for that. Yeah.
100%, dude. I mean, dude, look at Team Canada, right? The biggest name there is like Jamal Murray, and you obviously like Kelly Oubre. So they're not
SGA,
big.
Dylan Brooks.
SGA. Yeah, these guys are not outside of like SGA and like Jamal Murray. These guys aren't big names, right? But
They're not.
These guys know how to play with each other. Like Kelly Olynyk has played basketball for a decade.
Yeah, but
he knows.
Yeah, but at the same
with,
time, these guys are going to be playing kind of in the NBA style. We cannot deny that. These guys are going to be playing in the NBA style. Team Canada still. But when they play against Australia or France or even Spain, these teams play in the European original style. They play I can't even say it's a European style. It's the original basketball style. The NBA style is the outlier. They change basketball to make it more palatable on television. You know, to make the consumers view it more as entertaining. But that's not original basketball. What these guys are gonna go play with in these next upcoming days, that's original basketball. And it'll be interesting to see if the superstars how they adjust to it. Like it's a tricky dance, man, they gotta make, but I'm telling you, man, this is for the first time gonna be a slap. It's either gonna be a good thing or it's gonna be a slap in the face. Like, wow, after this, Team USA is gonna take every tournament, every FIBA, every qualifier. They're gonna take everything serious. It's not gonna be like last year sending, Jalen Brunson and sort of the B team out there. They're gonna continuously send the A team to make a point.
Yeah. 100%, and I think that's the best for the sport overall, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be best for the sport, but again, there's a lot of politics with Team USA, sponsorships. It's just the NBA is trying to market certain stars. They may want certain people in there because they're planning to make a guy a certain figurehead. It's a lot of politics with Team USA, man.